Cahill, Director of Community and Partnerships at humm. Welcome to the humm White Paper Explored. Today I'd like to welcome Mark Miller, humm's COO and CTO. Thanks for joining us today, Mark.
Hey, Bree.
So what is the technology behind a humm patch?
Yeah, so humm's patch is based upon a technology that's known as transcranial electrical stimulation, which is basically the mechanism of trying to induce some form of current into the brain. Now that can sound a little scary, but it's really not, because it's at a very low level, and it's within a range that, for example, your cell phone outputs energy at a much higher level than what we're talking about here.
So it's a low-level electrical stimulation. Is it safe to use?
Absolutely. So transcranial electrical stimulation has been around for a long time. It was first explored maybe 40 years ago. And there's been tons of research in all sorts of different applications and approaches using transcranial stimulation in a bunch of different forms: DC versus AC stimulation versus even magnetic stimulation. The whole idea behind it is to provide stimulation outside the brain without having to, invade the body in any way whatsoever. So it's an externally placed device that is absolutely safe.
Well, and you mentioned a few different types of transcranial electrical stimulation. Which specific type is humm using, and does it work?
Yeah. So humm's approach uses of the type of transcranial electrical stimulation we use is called transcranial alternating current stimulation, or TACS, which is basically means that we're stimulating with a sine wave as opposed to direct current like a battery. And it, as I mentioned, is absolutely safe. The signal and power levels involved are minuscule compared to the amount of energy in many commonly used devices like cell phones or a Bluetooth headset or things like that.
So tell me more about how the patch actually does work.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. The patch is based upon the use of some of the existing behaviors in the brain. If you look at the brain and you listen to it as a electromagnetic device, if you think about it that way. For example, if you put an EEG headset on a person, which is a commonly used clinical measurement device that doctors use all the time to measure brain activity, you'll discover that there's activity in the brain on all sorts of different frequencies. So one of the frequency bands is one that is known as theta. Theta goes from 4 hertz to 8 hertz. And when a person is in the process of going from sort of a distracted state to a focused state and maybe concentrating on a problem or something they're trying to read, you'll see their theta wave shift in phase and increase in amplitude. And that process of increasing in amplitude and in training theta is part of the process of forming a short-term memory and enhanced cognition as you concentrate. So the whole theory behind humm is to try to externally stimulate that enhanced memory formation as well as cognition with the external signal that's supplied by the humm patch.
So it's enhancing your working memory, which I understand is part of executive functioning.
Mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit about what executive functioning is?
Yeah, it's something we all have, whether or not you're an executive. Uh, our executive function is basically your conscious thought and presence of mind directed towards goals or complex decision making. So, basically, when you're thinking and focused on trying to do something, you're using your executive function.
Well, it sounds like something we could all use a boost to. Thank you, Mark, for your time
Absolutely.
today.
My pleasure.
And thank you for joining us for the humm White Paper Explored. We invite you to watch our entire series exploring the humm White Paper.